Hey everyone, good afternoon. Ryan Tonking from the Black Room here. Hope everybody's having a good day. I wanted to jump on here and do a quick video on the market outlook for the next 3 to 5 days or so, and we'll probably expand on that for a little bit longer. But we got a really nice pattern today on the daily chart as far as the events that happened after the gap down we got this morning in the market, and really kind of gave us a nice line in the sand here. So I wanted to cover how to prepare for this next move in the market, because I do think after today's price action that there will be a nice directional move in the market coming up, and how we can prepare to take advantage of that. Okay, so we're going to focus in primarily on the Qs here. All right, so make this chart a little bit bigger. And today, well, let's jump at the 5 minute here, okay? Well, actually, no, let's start with the daily chart, and we'll go through the whole thing here. So, all right, so we got this big selling in the Qs, right? Volatility came back. We talked about in the Black Room where this is a significant pivot, right? Daily pivot made new highs. This daily pivot made an equal high. We broke through this, so we went neutral. And then if we broke through this bottoming candle and broke through this significant pivot, then I was going to be bearish on the daily chart because we had broken the daily uptrend here that has been intact for a while, right? You can see this daily uptrend, we retested and then broke right here. All right, so daily uptrend broke on the Qs, and we got this really aggressive move lower, small gap down, which continued lower, and then we got this gap up. Okay, so after this gap up, I said that we're probably likely to pull back to or move higher to the 20 MA and to this resistance area, right, which was support. All right, and then I would look for a sell setup in that location, look for a daily sell setup, and then look for whether or not we were going to get a confirmed weekly buy setup or not. All right, so we'll dive into all that. I know that's a lot right now, but we will dive into all that. Okay, so when we did move up, I was on the mic at the close this day, and I was asked, do I think that if we break under this bar, do I think that this is a good daily sell setup? And I said that we'll probably come lower to retest here, but I don't think this is a good daily sell setup for me to take a short position. And the reason being is because, one, the retracement started through a gap, which is bullish, and then we got another gap. Two, we didn't retrace far enough here. And so for those two reasons, I don't think that this daily sell setup is shortable. Now, if you did short this sell setup, it probably was a 1-to-1, got pretty close to the lows today, but we did get a strong reaction here. And so I mentioned that I can't help but feel that after this climactic sell-off that we may retest this, okay? So we did end up retesting this kind of climactic sell-off here, climactic sell-off. We did retest this, and we got a really strong reaction. So what this means for me is that this is where the buyers are, and we can jump out and look at the weekly chart to see whether or not the longer-term trend traders, that this is where they're going to step up, which so far they have been, and to see if that the Qs are going to hold here. So this is becoming a very significant area for me. All right, so let's look at the 60-minute here. And before I got off the mic yesterday, I said, so this 60-minute looks like we're starting to transition here and looks like we're going to roll over. All right? I said that there's not a lot of reward to risk here, but if we get a gap tomorrow, that'll be the best thing. That if we get a gap tomorrow, then it'll be the easiest thing to kind of get a take on the market. And what I was looking for is if we get a gap up and stay bullish, then that's good. That means that it looks like we're going to be moving higher on the daily chart. Or if we get a gap down, that'll be bearish after the initial move. Or if we get a gap down, don't get any follow through to the downside, and break through this, that is the most bullish thing that we can do and would be the easiest thing that could happen. All right. Now, we haven't broke through this 60-minute base here yet, but that is what we got today. We got a gap down. We hardly got any follow through at the open, and then we just started ripping higher here. So this isn't a official gap only until it breaks the 175.30 area, but we got a gap down and we got a lot of strength here. So what does this strength tell me? Well, one is that this nice transition here got no follow through. Two, that this climactic move lower here, that the buyers that stepped in here have once again stepped in here, and so now I have a clear line in the sand here, right? That this is where the buyers are. And so my take from this is if these buyers start to get follow through, then we look higher here, and we'll probably trigger a weekly buy setup. But if these buyers don't get follow through here over really tomorrow, if they don't get follow through, then that's really bearish. Okay, so the reason why I want to do this video is because we've put ourselves in a position where the follow through that we get from today's price action is either going to be really bearish or it's going to be really bullish. Okay, and so that's where I'm at with the cues here. All right, so we talked this morning where we got this sell off here when right into 10:30. Okay, we talked about 10:30 reversal time on prior trend day signals and stuff. I did take a short here with the 5-minute sell setup, which ended up stopping. Excuse me, that was the end tap, which this ended up stopping. And the market failed in this 5-minute sell setup. So we didn't get a trend day signal because we didn't make a new low after 10:30. I did think that this sell setup was playable, which is why I played the end tap, which was either that or the 3M was probably, those two were kind of tied for my favorite gap downs today. Actually, that's not true. The WTR was the clear favorite. The WTR was a tier 1. And then the 3M and the end tap, once it cleared under the green bar, those were my two backups there. This sell setup ended up failing, and then we held the 5-minute uptrend here. Right, so we ended up holding every 5-minute significant pivot here. Ended up holding, and we look even higher here, right? We got a gap down that got bought. All right, so that's kind of the clear takeaway here. Now let's look at the weekly chart here, right? So the weekly chart is still in an uptrend here. We did pull back 100% here, but the weekly chart is still in an uptrend. So what I'm waiting for is, this is a bearish retracement, right? Just like this breakout failure was a bearish retracement. So what I'm waiting for is this weekly area, is this going to hold? Is this weekly uptrend going to hold? Right? And I think that with the price action that we got today, we have a clear signal on this daily chart where this area should hold. Right? So what I'm going to watch for very closely tomorrow is the kind of follow through that we get. Right? So whatever follow through we get to this price action, to this pivot that we're creating here, I think it's either going to be really bullish and the weekly chart's going to hold and we'll end up making new highs, or if we break this area, that's pretty bearish. That's pretty bearish. That means that the weekly uptrend is deteriorating, and weekly uptrend's been intact for a very long time, right? Until when we had that flash crash. This was the only time that the weekly uptrend, or a flash lower here, became in question. And it wasn't enough for me to go bearish, but it was enough for me to go neutral once we broke these significant pivots on the weekly chart, right? And so we're kind of at a similar point here with that flash crash, right? And that flash crash was either going to be really bearish or really bullish, and it ended up shortly after that, after Brexit and the election in the States, we ended up breaking out of that sideways base. So this is a very clear area. So I just wanted to point out the importance that I feel this area is, and we'll see what happens. I have no idea what's going to happen next, but what I do know is that I want to be prepared for a situation that I could possibly take advantage of. And I do think that either way, that this situation on the daily chart is a pattern that I'm familiar with where I could take advantage of this. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. I think that either direction, we're going to get a 3 to 5 day move. We're either going to get a 3 to 5 day move higher, or we're going to get a 3 to 5 day move lower. And I think it'll be a move of somewhat conviction. We may get some reaction here if we move higher, and we may get some reaction, like an inside day or something when we move lower. But either way, this is pretty powerful. All right. Okay. Thanks everyone. Appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys soon. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day.